You are now chopping it up with the Nerd Barbershop Podcast.
Thank you.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerd Barbershop Podcast. I'm Terrence Williams. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode and hanging out with me for a little bit. So in this episode, as you can tell, we're going to be talking about QB1 of the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. Let Justin cook. So at the time we recording this podcast, the NFL season is getting ready to start. I'm recording this before the Thursday night game between Detroit and Kansas City. And then, of course, Sunday, September 10th. Yeah, September 10th, NFL kickoff Sunday, going live. Bears-Packers are going to be America's Game of the Week at 3:25 Central. Can't wait. I got to be at work, I think, for the most part. I got to check my schedule again. But yeah, can't wait. But we're going to be talking about, we're just going to not talk about the game as a whole, or we're going to focus on the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. I've been seeing a lot of articles because, as you know, Justin Fields, he actually became the second all-time leading rusher for a quarterback, having just over 1,100 yards on the ground as a quarterback, just behind the second greatest rushing quarterback season, just behind Michael Vick, just above Lamar Jackson. So the boy can run. But there's this weird narrative that he's only a runner, which is really weird. Like, he's a running back, all jokes, he's a running back, blah, blah, blah. Can he pass? He can't pass. He can't throw, blah, blah, blah. It's really weird and stupid. But even though throughout his entire career, going back to, his, AAU days or, Pop Warner, or when he was kind of going through high school and stuff, he was always a passer. Like, he could run. He has the speed. He has, 4.4 speed, I think. The kid can fly. But he was always a passer. When he was going up against him and Trevor Lawrence was always 1, he was always 2. There was one QB camp he went to where Justin actually won the quarterback camp. He actually won that QB camp, and Trevor Lawrence was second. So Justin Fields is a passer, can be a passer, and will be a great passer. But now because he's had a leaky offensive line, not the best weapons. He's kind of had to also figure out the NFL game too. He had 2 completely different offensive schemes he had to learn now. Now he's in the second year of a consecutive scheme, so he should be better just in terms of familiarity. It's like starting a new job. You start a new job, guess what? Even if you have the skills, just like me as a chef, though I have cooking skills, going to a new kitchen, you're still going to a new kitchen. You still gotta learn how they do things, how their menu works, how they prep stuff, where they put stuff. Same thing. He's been a quarterback. He's been in different systems. He, of course, also went through in high school. He was at Georgia for a little bit. And he transferred from Georgia to Ohio State. Did his thing at Ohio State. Then he gets drafted by the Bears. He's with Matt Nagy. Okay, he's with Matt Nagy for that year. Okay, now Matt Nagy's gone. Now he's with Luke Getsy and Matt Eberflus. Okay, they run a completely different scheme. So now this is his second year in Luke Getsy's wide zone scheme. So let's see what happens. I'm really excited for him. There's been comparisons, him and Jalen Hurts. He could be Jalen Hurts. He could be, kind of with Josh Allen. How Josh Allen was more of a runner when he started, and he developed into a passer after they got, Josh Allen became a better passer when they got Stephon Diggs. Jalen Hurts got A.J. Brown. He became a better passer. The Bears just picked up DJ Moore. So will we see Justin Fields flourish? I have all the utmost confidence in Justin as a passer because that's what he's done. The running was kind of the newer part, was kind of the wrinkle that he necessarily needed to use. He would navigate the pocket, maybe run every now and then. But last year, he was just dynamic as a runner. He even made the NFL top 100 players of 2022 last year. That the players voted him in. He was number 86 out of 100. So, they see what he can do, and we know what he can do. And I think Justin is ready to explode. He hears all the naysayers and stuff like that. He's not a passer. And one of the things I got tired of hearing, all these, talking about all excuses. There's no more excuses for Justin. Who makes excuses for Justin? Everything was happening was a reality, not an excuse. He was in a new system. He didn't have the greatest offensive line. He didn't have the best weapons. You know what I'm saying? The field at Soldier Field literally changed last year. We went from what we had before to the Kentucky Bluegrass. Now it's supposed to be better. It's supposed to hold. That was a brand new field last year that they literally installed a month before the season started. So again, there was a lot of new stuff. Not excuses, but realities. I really hate that everyone, the excuses, we're making an excuse for. No, those were all real things. and he can do it. People keep forgetting, like, after that Patriots game last year, the Bears were like, for like a 5 or 6 week stretch, they were averaging like between like 25 and 30 points a game. They were one of the highest scoring offenses in the league in like a 5 to 6 week stretch. So, and again, that's with not the best weapons, a leaky offensive line, and not the best talent around Justin. And Justin kept him in so many games. Like, yeah, we were, 3-13, or 3-14 as a, our record, but we were in so many games because of Justin's competitiveness. But Justin can't play offense and defense. Some games we lost because people dropped balls. Maybe Justin didn't make the read he needed to read. That's happened. You're not perfect. But my thing is, I think he's fine. He has all the physical tools, and he has the mental tools. He understands what it takes to be a leader and what it takes to be a quarterback at a high level. I mean, he was playing in the Big Ten at Ohio State, and there's a lot of pressure being the quarterback for the Chicago Bears, because the Chicago Bears have been, deprived of high quarterback play for years. Like, the Bears have not had like that franchise 10, 12-year starter, 8, 9-year Pro Bowl, all pro first team. We just haven't really had that. Jay Cutler was probably the best quarterback we had talent-wise in terms of arm talent. Of course, Jim McMahon won the Super Bowl, he won the Super Bowl. So, we just haven't had like a lot of this talent. Sid Luckman was really good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and Justin has a chance to be something really special for the city and for the Bears. If we can win consecutively, be a threat every single year we go out, I think he can do that. I think he has the mentality, he has the personality to do that. I mean, he doesn't have to be Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes, or he doesn't have to be any of these other quarterbacks. He doesn't have to be Lamar Jackson. He just has to be Justin Fields, and he has to build a team around him and highlight his strengths and try to minimize his weaknesses as much as possible. Like, and just work around it. Like, I just get tired of hearing like all these, sports analysts, quote unquote, just talking about everything. Like, oh, I don't think he's that good. Like LaShawn McCoy be talking down on him. I like kind of like what I can't think of his not Greg. Yeah, Greg Jennings. Where he said he was like Jalen Hurts, or he said that Justin being called Jalen Hurts is a disgrace to Justin. Like, that's a kind of a knock against him. Like, he could be better than Jalen Hurts, and he could be. But just let him find his way. Like, let him do his thing. Let him, if he holds the ball too long, okay, maybe you can't fix that. So let's develop routes to try to, use that against him, or use that for him. If he holds the ball a little too long, maybe, just let's try to build things around that then. People keep forgetting one of the strengths of the Chiefs was Patrick Mahomes was dropping back 10, 15 yards when he had Tyreek. Why? Because if he can drop back that far, you're not going to cover Tyreek for that long. You can't. His speed will just beat you regardless. So that was a plan that the Chiefs did till defenses are kind of adjusted. Justin holds the ball on for too long. Maybe they'll work a way to make that a strength. Defenses will figure it out, and they'll have to correct something else. I'm just saying, let Justin cook. I believe him. I think he's the best talent we've had in Chicago, like, as a quarterback position. Like, period, in my opinion. I think he's really, really good. I can't wait to see what he does. I'm really excited for him. And this podcast is going to come out before the season starts, so, you get to hear my Justin Field hypes. I still want a Justin Field jersey with the captaincy. I'm still waiting on that. Chicago Bears, make that happen. But I'm excited. I'm excited for him. I can't wait to see what he does. Like, we saw what he can do as a runner. We know what he can do as a passer because he's done it. Like, people just keep forgetting. Like, and he was dropping dimes last year. Like, there's like that pass in the first game against San Francisco where he went clear across field in the rain on that field to Dante Pettis. We went clear across. Dante Pettis was wide the hell open. You still got to make the pass, and then he dropped it right in the bucket, and Dante went right in. He dropped passes like the Cole to that one pass towards the end of the season to Villas Jones where he threw it to a spot and Villas ran up under it and slid and caught it. Like, there was some really nice passes. Justin has it, and he can do it, and we know he can do it. We know he believes in himself. He's got to put it all together, and, we're going to have a great season. I don't know if I want to put my Bears prediction. I want the Bears to win 10 games. I'm expecting, maybe 7 or 8 wins, which would be, 4 to 5 wins up on last year. But a 10-win season would be dope for us, but we're in a tough division. The entire division is younger and loaded and just kind of, and it's wide open. Like, we don't know what's going to happen in the NFC North. But the Bears could possibly win the North. We'll see what happens. I'm getting a lot of 2018 vibes from this team, too. Like, that, there was just some special stuff with that 2018 team. Of course, that's when the Bears won the division, went to the playoff. We lost into the divisional round to Philly with a double doink. We won't talk about that. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this year. I'm excited for Justin. I got my Justin Field shirt ready to go for Sunday. Like we getting it cracking. So I'm excited to see what QB1 does for the Chicago Bears. Again, let Justin cook. Thank you so much for listening to this brand new episode of the Nerd Barbershop Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast for the past few years. I forget how long I have how long the podcast been up now. 4 years? I think it's been 4 or 5 years now. I forget. But thank you so much for listening. The podcast got over 1,000 plays. That's not because of me. That's because of everyone that's listening to the podcast. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to get podcast episodes out, like I said before in the last episode. Maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. It depends on how I'm feeling and like what's going on that I feel like talking about. But thank you so much for supporting the podcast and just listening and just, the podcast doesn't grow without you, the listener, who takes the time out to press play and hear what I got to say on whatever subject I'm talking about. So thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. To everybody in Illinois and Chicago that listens, everybody around the world, because I get like plays across the world, like outside the United States. The next biggest country that listens to the podcast is Germany. So if anyone's from Germany to listen to the podcast, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Just tell your friends, share it, keep supporting. I got some other stuff cooking a little bit later in the year, but thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because this podcast doesn't grow without the audience. You are the audience, and I thank you so much. And it's very humbling as a content creator to make something and people listen, even if it's just one person. If one person takes the time out to listen, that means the world. Having over 1,000 plays for something that I just started kind of on a whim is really special. It's really cool to see that people do want to hear what I have to say, and I'm gonna keep talking. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart once again. Like how in every episode, slicing, dicing, gaming, not just a motto, it's a lifestyle. I'll see you next podcast. Later.